Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to the Piper Report. So, in Montana, there was a GOP candidate who got mad at a Guardian reporter from the organization The Guardian, and so he body slammed him, and he broke his glasses. Now, what's interesting about this is the media spin that followed it subsequently. They are blaming it on Donald Trump. Don Lemon blamed it on Donald Trump. Joe from Morning Joe and MSNBC also blamed it on Trump. The first thing I can say to that is, I'm happy it's not Russia. I assumed they were going to blame it on Russia, that Russia was responsible for this GOP body slamming him, because it's always Russia. I mean, if you break a nail, blame Russia. But no, they actually moved on to blame Trump. So here's the audio, though, and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending this guy, this Greg Giofonte. I am not defending him at all. He was charged with assault, and he should have been for what he did. But, blame the attacker. Blame the one involved in the crime. Don't blame some external forces to try to make you feel better about the report being body slammed. Here's the art.
Speak with Shane, please. But you don't. I'm sick and tired of you guys. The last guy that came here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the Guardian?
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
The last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Get the hell out of here.
That's good.
If you'd like me to get the hell out of here, I'd also like to call the police. Can I get you guys' names?
Hey, you gotta leave.
He just body slammed me.
You gotta leave.
Well, I'm glad the reporter admitted it. He's body slammed me. Can you guys leave? He just body slammed me, though. Can I call the police? I mean, don't get me wrong. There are media pundits that we all dislike, and I'm sure some of us would like to punch a lot of them. Hell, I think Lawrence O'Donnell has a very punchable face. That being said, I probably wouldn't punch him, but he does have a really punchable face. But when they then tried to cast blame on others to try to make sense of this type of event, and that's where the argument falls short, and that's where it becomes nonsensical. Here's another article here. Media watchers blame hostility toward reporters on Trump. The case of a Montana congressional candidate accused of body slamming a reporter is being blamed by some media watchers on a wave of hostility toward journalists that President Trump helped generate. It definitely started before Trump, but he definitely exacerbated it, said Kelly McBride, a vice president at the Palmer Institute, a media think tank and training center in St. Petersburg, Florida. For months, Trump, first as a candidate, now as president, has attacked the media, calling it dishonest, branding it the enemy of the people, and accusing it of putting out fake news. Yes, that is completely true. We have actually seen evidence of the dissemination of fake news. Just because someone's calling it out doesn't mean that he is calling for violence on the fake news. I know you like to perceive that as that, because if someone says your journalistic integrity is lacking, you think that means they hate you as a person. No, they're attacking your integrity. That's not the same thing. You could be a great person, but you have shitty integrity. You don't care about your job. You don't care about being honest in your job. There's a big difference there. During the White House campaign, reporters at Trump rallies were often confined to a penned-in area, vilified by the candidate, and subjected to such insults and threats from his supporters that some members of the media feared for their safety. Oh dear. At one rally, a man was photographed in a shirt that read, "Rope, tree, journalist, some assembly required." Wow, I have to see that shirt. Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski was arrested during the campaign on battery charges for grabbing a film reporter. Yes, we all have seen that video. There was nothing there. She violated what the Secret Service told her not to do. Bypass them to get to the president, or at that time, the candidate. But she did it anyways. He was protecting Trump, so he grabbed her and pulled her back. Just because she faked a fall and then she filed charges against him or told the police to arrest him doesn't mean that she was right. We know that she wanted her 15 minutes of fame. And it turns out that the Florida prosecutor also decided that what she was spewing wasn't actually truth. that it was a publicity stunt, essentially. Sure, he grabbed her and she did get a bruise. That doesn't mean he assaulted her. It means she should have been doing the same as all the other media in the room and not go against what the Secret Service directives. But here's one of the videos now. I don't have the Joe from Morning MSNBC video. It's probably around here. I just didn't really look for it. But yeah, here's the video. It's pretty funny. I'll full screen it here. We'll speed up a little bit, just make it go by quicker.
Charged. It's that simple.
Yeah. Paris, what do you think?
Yeah, Don, you made a very good point, and the question that you asked is why is this happening right now? There's a hilarious movie called The Election, and where the candidate is doing he's saying crazy things, he's doing.
You don't
crazy
think it's
things.
because a guy who's in office now has said very horrible things about
No.
reporters and has said that the reporters are the enemy of the American people?
No,
I think
Don,
that has nothing to do with anything. That people feel that they can get away with it, because I don't believe that you actually believe that.
Oh, Don Lemon, yes. Based on what Trump said, he is completely manipulating the GOP and members of the GOP to attack reporters. Yes. Okay.
No,
I think
Don,
that has nothing to do with anything. That people feel that they can get away with it, because I don't believe that you actually believe that. There's no way you can't. There's no way you believe what you're saying if you don't think that's true.
Oh, he believes it.
Well, I didn't get a chance to say anything.
That lovely lunatic on top is Anna Navarro. You remember her from, well, the election night. And see, it's kind of funny. I bring this up because Elizabeth Warren and Anna Navarro and Trump, well, those two people, Navarro and Elizabeth Warren, basically say Trump's a bully and all this stuff. Yet if you actually listen to them, they are synonymous with Trump's alleged behavior. So they allege that Trump is, a bigoted bully, all this stuff. But you listen to those two, they also do similar characteristics. What they say is on par with what Trump says. How they act to others is on par with how Trump treats others. So the hypocrisy by those two is quite funny, as you just saw here with Anna Navarro. Oh, he believes it. Yes, because let me guess, because he is defying the media narrative. He is defying the regressive narrative that it was Trump's fault that this happened. So yeah, look at that little smirk on her face too right there. Yeah, so happy.
There's no way you believe what you're saying if you don't think that's true.
Oh, he believes it.
Well, I didn't get a chance to say anything, but I will tell you now what I think, and that is that what we have right now is a groundswelling of people who are not being respectful, who are not acting civil, and people who are just saying things
Why do
that
you
are
think that
inappropriate.
is?
And people
After a country that is, hundreds of years old, where we don't have incidents like this for the most part, and all of a sudden we're having incidents like this now. You think it's just a coincidence?
No, I don't. I think if we go back and look at history, we can see that, especially in this country, we have had a lot of instances of violence with politicians and people going back and forth. But my point is this, Don. We have an issue going on right now where people think they can do anything with their fists and with their hands, like this candidate did, and we have people who think they can say anything that they want to as well. They are both wrong.
And you don't. Come on, Paris. You don't think it has anything to do with someone saying?
Don, if you're trying to make a connection or a correlation,
I'm not trying. I'm telling you, I am. I'm not trying. I'm just saying I can't believe that you believe the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I do, and you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
I do understand. I know that you don't believe that. You're obviously on television just saying that because you feel that you have to defend everything about this particular person in office. If you actually sit there,
what does Donald Trump have anything to do with what this candidate did? Let's hold this candidate responsible.
They're the fake people back there. They're horrible people. They're the enemy of the American people. If you think that doesn't have anything to do with it, then you are sadly mistaken, my friend. Good night, everybody.
They call me sadly mistaken, but you're.
I just did. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Oops, I didn't want to click that. Oh, that is good. That is good, Don Lemon. Wow. So let's dissect that a little bit here. So is Bernie Sanders responsible then for all the violence that we've seen during the election? Remember when Trump was in California, we saw riots on the streets, people waving Mexican flags and support Bernie Sanders flags, and they were trashing buildings and breaking windows? Does that make Bernie Sanders responsible for the carnage that those people made? No, it didn't. It didn't at all. Because whether you like it or not, well, first off, let's dissect that hypocrisy there. Why is it different? Why is it when Bernie supporters are trashing stuff, it's not Bernie Sanders' fault, but when someone who might not even like Trump attacks a reporter for his own reasons, because like he said, you guys keep doing this to me, not to Trump, but to me, why is that directly impacted on Trump's behavior? How does Trump affect that situation? And why is it different than Bernie Sanders and his rioters? There's this, there's a false equivalency here. It doesn't work. And I forgot what was I going to say before this, so yeah, we'll have to skip it then. But Don Lemon, you are a joke. you already joke and you just want to place blame on Trump and Russia. But I am glad you said Trump and not Russia this time. I figured it'd be Russia, but all right. I think we can all see how the media is devolving. It's devolving into the entity that they fear that Trump is claiming they are. So the more they report on this nonsense, the more they report on stuff and then contradict their own reporting, the more they look like the bumbling fools they are. And when we have people like Don Lemon and Adam Navarro making these wild accusations and claims and trying to blame everything on Trump and Russia, the more support and the poorer their ratings will go. And they will continue to diminish in popularity. And soon enough, the corporate media will die. It's only a matter of time. And I'm done.